But every once in a while, there's just that one RC that rips it so hard, you almost feel bad modifying it. So in case you haven't figured it out, this is RC Guy Garage. Initially, I've been mocking up my Mojave, and you can see behind me. I've been mocking it up to become a monster Mojave. Now with the new release of the EXB Mojave, I have actually put that conversion on hold. Only because I feel like I need to prove a point. Prove a point in a good way. I think the EXB Mojave is probably a great concept. It looks great, but we're just talking colors. Then again, how much is really going into the EXB-ness of the Arrma Mojave, like from this one? Version 1. I guess I should just call that version 1 now. Because it seems like there is the possibility of these rollers being kind of almost like a version 1.5 or something like that. Because it is an extreme bash roller. I don't know, man. Have they really changed that much? And are all the changes a positive result? So anyways, if you're interested in this episode from RC Guy Garage, literally all I'm going to do is just put my Mojave back together, because Mojave version 1, that thing needs to prove a point that it is probably the most underrated Arrma vehicle ever created so far. Let's get into it. So the point of this video, realistically, is got a package from Jenny's RC. The Monster Mojave conversion kind of has been put on a little bit of a hold, but I wanted to show you, this is obviously my Mojave, completely blown apart, and the only reason why it's blown apart, it wasn't broken, although it does need some maintenance. It wasn't broken. What had happened was, well, I suppose you could probably call this broken, but this is duct tape fixed, so this is actually mint now. We have broken bumper supports, we have broken body mount supports, all that stuff. All this stuff is broken, but that really isn't what the issue is. I ended up taking out the rear differential out of this thing. You can see rear differential's now empty. I had taken out the rear differential so that I could actually give it to the, give it to the EXB so I could actually drive it. And I didn't have the proper amount of shims at the time, so I did end up blowing out the rear differential. But I've got now, I am literally on a mission now, because Arrma just came out with a new EXB version of this. And I'm not against Arrma. Send me the EXB. We'll see what I can do with it. But anyways, they're not going to do that. They don't want me having the EXB. But I'm going to drive that, not drive that, I'm going to push that out of the way. Want to see actually what we got inside of this Jenny's RC box. If you haven't seen, right there, you've got some Game Changer fans. The Low Pro, this is actually more designed for throwing on your ESC. It is a lower profile fan design. It does not pump out the same amount of wind, let's say like the Mega or the Triple Shot does. I actually call this the Triple Shot. What's nice about these fans is that if you did buy a configuration that's a Triple Shot or whatever, the way Game Changer has his fans configured, you can actually pull these apart. So they're siliconed together very well, but they're made to basically configure how you want to do it. This one actually is kind of like, all together. There are just multiple configurations. This is actually designed for a certain project. This fan right here is what's being called the Goliath. And yeah, there was an echo to that because there has to be. So the way this thing spools up, here, let me show you. I know we're on like a little bit of a kick on opening this box and working on the Mojave, but I do have to show you how that thing spools up. So I'm going to grab a battery pack. This fan will run on 3S. It is designed or made to run solely on 4S. So this would be for obviously an 8S application. Your 5th scales, your beasts, however you want to do it. Anything that takes 8S. Check this out. It literally wants to tip over. The wire's rigid enough to... Look at that. It literally is that powerful. Look at that. That thing is a monster. It's got the soft start, which is awesome. It is just what we are calling the Goliath, and the thing is incredible. So this is, I mean, look at that. You got a nice aluminized look on the inside with a nice black grate. I mean, this thing is great. And that is from Game Changer RC. That's the guy you got to go check out to buy, or actually to go ahead and get your affordable cooling fan option for either your ESCs, for your motors, your center diffs, just whatever you got. This is what you need to go with. That was my Game Changer. Oh yeah, check it out too. You wonder where he's from? There you go. Jacksonville, Florida. Game Changer RC. Bam. So that's definitely the guy you got to go check out. Jenny's RC box. Let's see what we got here. There we go. That's more like it. So basically what this was, I wanted to get just some parts. And Jenny's RC is like literally the chop shop for RCs. These are the Mojave side plates, both left and right side. Got plenty of bubble wrap here. And inside this bag right here, we have one specific thing that I needed out of this package's contents. But again, literally comes with just about everything you need. Now, these little bonuses that this has that I kind of effectively needed, which is insane. Number one, this battery tray. This battery tray this actually might be the fix for my VT now. So we've got some shock pistons in there. This was actually what was needed for the Mojave, or I call it the MOJAVE. This is a stock, full rear differential, like out of the box, stock, like ready to rip. Now, the only thing that I am going to attempt, hear that? I'm going to try and take some of that slop out by seeing if I can shift that ring gear closer to the pinion, just to see if I can get rid of that slop, because I am going to prove a point with my Mojave, and this should be able to prove that point. I don't know, I think it was like 30 bucks, something like that, for all these pots. All these pots, literally right here, was like 30 bucks. And obviously this was like, I think this was like 50 bucks, but it's worth it though, because it's literally everything and it's brand new. Let's just drag this bad boy over. Should have all my parts pretty much like kind of in the general location. These are obviously the dog bones, both left and right wheels. I am going to take all of this apart and see exactly what's going on. The only issue that I do have is my wheel did strip out, but there is the possibility that I could maybe take some type of JB weld or plastic weld or something and pretty much stick like a hex maybe in here and see if I can maybe form the plastic, because this is a major problem for me right now, is I don't have a wheel. So you see what I'm saying? Like obviously when I go to put this in, you can see that it totally rounded out. So that was my issue with this wheel. Maybe I could kind of, redneck fix it for now, just so I can actually, use it. This is also the issue that I have, I think, with the new EXB, because I don't even believe the new EXB, they changed the wheel configuration, which this is a failure point, at least for me, on the right rear. And there's somebody else, same exact thing. Right rear is the failure point. So unless they've changed the new wheel, why are you calling it an EXB? Because this is a failure point. So this was also the reason why I was going to do a conversion, because I stripped this out. That's even the hex, too. That's the hex from the front. I had actually taken a new hex and stuck it on the front of this car. So, yeah. So, yeah. Let's just bust into this. Chassis mint. I'm not having any other issues than my wheel, and obviously my EXB Creighton blew the ring gear on this, and I'm going to hopefully shim this right now and solve that issue for myself. I do have some Techno shims I'm just not sure if these are the ones that I needed. We're going to try and fit these in. Don't forget to drink your coffee or get some coffee if you need it. Let's get into it. We also got our new, this is not a sticker, man. I don't know what this is made out of, but this is like this is a decal. This ain't a sticker from Game Changer. This thing, I'm telling you, whatever you tack this onto, it ain't coming off. So make sure when you lay this out, you lay it out like you're doing car vinyl graphics, because this sticker is very high quality. All right, you can see the camera was doing some weirdness. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab paper towel. We're just going to break this open. A couple of screws. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have headphones on and you care about your ears, make sure you go ahead and lower the volume so that this driver doesn't blow your ears out. There we go. So basically the only reason why I'm taking this off is because I want to I want to check the actual diff itself, and I want to shim. So you can see there is one shim there, but I actually want to push that a little bit further over, see if I can get rid of even more of that slop. So there is a shim on here. I'm going to grab my Techno shims that I got here. Wish these were zip-locked. That way at least they would kind of like stay together. This is what they need to do. They're getting cheap. Because if this was zip-locked, you know what I mean? I feel like I'd lose less. So I'm going to take out one shim. I'm going to stick another shim on that side. It's a very thin shim. And I'm going to stick this back in here, being very careful. I might have to... I don't think I can... Yeah, I can't shim the other side. So let's see if I can just drop that into place. I think that literally just did it. Yeah, the one shim took care of it. So I'm actually going to pop this open. If you're looking for drivers, go ahead and go to the company Hobao. Go ahead and get you these long reach drivers. These things are mint. So just because I don't want to get grease all over the place, I am going to clear off the grease that's on here, because I'm going to use my own grease anyway. So I'll just clean this off completely. Make sure you wear gloves when you're doing stuff like this. Watch your ears. That's the wrong one, isn't it? Yep. I need to still get myself more. I think 1 million. Am I out of 1 million? No, I am out of 500K. So let's pop this open. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little extra in there. Literally, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add fluid to that. I'm going to add my, so I'm almost out of 20 mil. Maybe I should be adding 1 mil instead. Check my supply of 1 mil I've got here. You know what I might do? I might add the 1 million, because I am getting pretty low on the 20 mil. So this was actually given to me from James George. James George, if you're out there, man, thank you very much for giving me this stuff. We had some guy named Earl Moorhead out there buying all the 1 mil. Not leaving any for anybody else. He became the 1 million weight, the 1 million weight hoarder of the RC community. He was hoarding it all for himself. Flat blade driver. And I'm just going to pick out a little bit of this 1 mil earplug looking stuff. And I'm basically just going to slam it just like that. And that will mix with the other fluid exactly the way I want it to. So, going to line it up, cap it over. Fluid's just going to puke out of everywhere. Look at that. Fluid's literally just puking out. I take one of my things here, try to find the hole that it's supposed to go into. Come on, guy. I'm gonna locate the. I thought I put it over, but here we go. So there we go. We get that one, that one, that one, that one. Perfect. Now I don't send them home. I send them home by hand, normally. Just let it just kind of tighten up. So I'd say out of the box for stock Mojave, at least for this particular diff, you got to go ahead and add one extra shim on that side. And there's the Techno part number for the shims that I'm actually using. So now I'll just finish it up by hand. Crank it down. I'm not even going to wipe any of the diff fluid off or nothing. It's just going to stay right like that. I'm not going to clear out any of the grease out of the diff, nothing. It's just going to stay. So each time you go around, you can get like normally a little extra squeak. And then all of a sudden, it'll be tight. Go around it a couple of times because what it does is it just kind of settles into place. All right, so make sure my two shims are on there. There we go. They were stuck together. So go ahead and put them back on the actual ring gear side. When you put it in, make sure that those shims are actually kind of like angled and really stuck to that bearing so that it slides into the case. And basically just snap it in place. Make sure those shims kind of stay in there. Got to make sure those shims actually go into place on there. And that's mint. So I'm going to go ahead and put a blob of my brake parts, or whatever it is there. That special fluid that I use. If I can find it. You tell me I put that away too. Come on, guy. Where is it? I should just leave it like right in the center so I don't lose it. And move it. And it's just like disappears. So this is the stuff that I recommend. This is from Permatex. It's a silicone ceramic extreme brake parts lubricant. And anytime I come across a scenario like this, where you have a ring and a pinion, this is the stuff that I use. I'm not cleaning out any of the other stuff in there, the grease that's there. I'm just going to add more fluid like this right to it. I'm just going to blob it just like that. That probably will be enough. Now what you can do is just dab all the seal surfaces like this, just to make sure things stay kind of like semi-sealed or whatever. Just like that. Make sure you wear gloves. I just got to take the cover. I'm going to slap the cover on. I think the unofficial Basher Queen girl, I believe she makes gaskets or something for this stuff. She might be actually worth a look. It's she's called Basher Queen, but she calls herself the 100% unofficial Basher Queen. I think she's called unofficial Basher Queen. I don't even know. Just go check out her channel. She's worth a check out. So we'll do that. I'm just gonna sink these down. And make sure I stop before I get to the end so I don't strip them out. Because that's definitely something that you can do. You can strip these out. You don't want to do that. Kind of keep everything loose in your hand. I'll keep the item loose, and I'll also keep the driver loose in my hand so that I don't wipe it out. Do not want to strip this thing. Just like that. Then I'll just finish it off by hand with the correct driver. That's not it. It's this one. You see how the grease is squeezing out? See how it almost looks like it's a gasket? But I believe she's like laser cutting or vinyl cutting gaskets, which is pretty awesome. Cool. Now just go ahead and just clean up all your excess grease, because the grease is going to attract dirt, and this Mojave is going to be in the dirt. It's going to be in the street. I'm going to prove a speed point with this car. Like, I'm literally going to go nuts with the Mojave right now, just because I really feel like I need to prove a point. That's way better. Love it. Look at that. Look at how that coats. Look at that gear. See that gear? That's how it should look. Look at that. That is mint. Love it. So once I go to drop this down and in, I'll probably put more fluid in it, unless I just kind of just do it now and leave it upside down. Guess I could do that. Just throw some more fluid right in there like that. Let it just eat fluid. There we go. That is a very happy diff case and diff. Make sure you wear gloves. So we're back. It took me a couple minutes because of organizing and having like just a disaster. So here are the parts that are original from the well, actually, these are parts that are original to my Mojave and actually to my other thing there, my Creighton EXB. So this is the original Mojave diff that I had pulled out. Obviously, we have no need for this now. This is the one where I have destroyed the gears, or should I say the EXB has destroyed the gears. These right here, the original Sun gears from my EXB, all the plates, all that stuff. So it literally looks like I need nothing out of here other than these screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's literally all I needed out of this thing. So I can go ahead and now bag this back up. Hey, check it out. A shim. Maybe I could use that shim. But anyways, that would be the shim from the Mojave, I think. I don't even know now. One of these days, I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to use my original diff from the EXB Creighton that I've got if Horizon Hobby gets their act together and sends me my warranty. Aggravated still about that, but whatever. It is what it is, right? Now, because technically this section is ready, I'm just going to clear or clean off this area so that there's no contaminants that are going to get in there, because what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually just going to take the diff and I'm going to plop it right down in position, and I just want to make sure that everything's mint. You can see that the grease is doing exactly what I need it to do. Coating. This stuff is absolutely amazing. Now, I think Basher Clean makes this gasket. I think this is also the gasket that I may be talking about. But what you can do for now is you just take a little bit of the grease and you just kind of like tap dab it just like that. All right, so on my old diff, we still have the brace. I guess I didn't lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. So I'm going to have to take apart those screws right there. So pop that brace out and we'll clean it. I'll get this out of here. See, it just takes a couple minutes sometimes just to refigure things out and realize I didn't lose anything. There's nothing wrong with this diff case. Just there's no need in doing anything else. So now I can take that, move that out of the way. Remove this. I'll clean these screws a little bit. So now we'll go ahead and install this piece. You know what I'm realizing? Check that out. Check out the wear, the ovalization on that. I'm going to go ahead and replace that piece. Check that out. That has got some serious pin wear. I wonder if that's from my accident. So yeah, actually, I have that part, don't I? Is the EXB one just like a bigger one? Because this one right here. Jenny's RC literally to the rescue. Check that out. Makes me wonder if I should also replace the pins as well. Well, I'm going to get this installed right now. Gets installed just like, oops. Gets installed just like this. Make sure you wear gloves. I'm not going to drive it home just yet. Yeah, so that goes in as a spacer. So technically what I really need to do is I need to work on this end. So slide that into place. I'm going to use one of the dead tires. Keep the car propped up. And I ain't looking at no instructions. I will just literally just figure this out on my own. I'm not going to do instructions. I hate instructions. So I'm going to start disassembling some of this stuff right here. So I'm going to take off this whole wheel. This wheel does not need to be in my way anymore. I need to basically take the shock tower away. Once I do that, it looks like I need to release those two screws, those two screws. Once I release those two screws, it looks like that is going to flip up, because that actually is going into the top ears. So I'm going to release those like that. Then these two down here. Now, I believe I can pitch these up, and this should break away. There we go. So I'll leave that out of the way for now. Now what I need to do is go after, there's two screws, 1 and 1. So what I need to do is now just remove this screw right here. Like that. Then go after the top down. Pop that block off. Like that. Now I can put this aside. These two screws for that. Install this piece into there, which goes this way. Piece is going to go on this side. This piece goes on this side. Just going to leave those loose for now. Got the suspension here. What I should do right now, check my crunchy bearings, check my pins. The pin seems really tight. Check the pin health by rolling it. This one, they just need to be refinished. So the pin actually looks straight, except for the very end. The very end of this pin does have a little bit of a bend to it, so I'm actually going to straighten that out with my hammer. That pin's fine. This pin's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it into my drills chuck. Wow, it's got more of a whip to it than I thought it did. So I'm going to clean it first. Maybe it'll get me. So that pin is actually kind of mangled. And I do have new pins, but I'm like one of those people that I'd rather straighten out what I've got. Take my drill bit, which is basically the same size of the pen. Put it in. Basically just drill out my mint. This one's a little tight because this one's bent. So this one I could probably bend up a little bit better. Okay, I feel like I've got the pins to where I want them to be. This one is still just a little bit tight, but I don't know why I'm forcing myself to use a bent pin. You can see obviously this one drops through, which is where I would like this one to be. This one gets to that certain point right there and it just does not want to drop through. So basically what happens is just the center, I think this is like slightly bent like a Z shape. I could see it, it's just bent right there. I just, for some reason, I feel like I have to use it. Because like I said, I feel like I'm trying to prove a point with this MOJAVE. And I actually don't have a problem with using mangled parts, to be quite honest with you. This isn't that mangled. So I do want to check out my hubs here, my bearings at least. I got to drive out that pin right there. Yeah, that's it. All right, so I need to get a wrench on that or something. A pair of channel locks would work better, but this is good enough for now. So I'm actually going to take this completely out because it's pretty nasty. Just like that. Now I should be able to just pop that pin out of there. This out. Pop this out of here. Clean this. I'm also going to clean these bearings. So I'm going to pop that outer bearing out first. Something like this maybe. And go for that inner bearing. Clean out the hub. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the solution, get these cleaned up, hopefully they'll free up. Set screw still on there. Should do. Look at that. So these are going to need to go in there again. Listen to that. A little gritty. It's pretty bad. It needs some MOJAVE actually. It says connection lost. So I'm putting my bearings through an oil bath. And when I actually install the actual cup inside, what I'll do is I'll actually drip a couple of drops of oil. I'm going to go ahead and order up. These bearings are actually alright. But I am going to go ahead and order up a sealed bearing, because a sealed bearing is more of a bearing that you can maintain. These you really can't. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of toss those back into place. Just like that. Clean it up. And I put a couple of drops of oil, I guess maybe on this hub section here. Just like that. And I'm just going to drop that into place. Like that. And then now that's going to be happy. Go ahead and put my hex on. Make sure I'm kind of like lining up the pin. Drop the pin in place. Make sure it's even. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of Loctite. Throw some Loctite on there. Not a lot, just a drop like that. I'll fire that right inside of there. Probably be better if I had like a 17-inch, yeah, 17-inch, 17mm thing here to grab this hex, but I don't have one at the moment, so these pliers will serve their purpose. Wrong one. Give it a crank. Not the best, but it's definitely happier. It's going to be angry. I'm going to pop this side out as well. And this one is wicked tight. This one is going to need some fire. That's also why I've got this little mini butane torch. Get this stuff out of the way. I'm basically just going to take my butane torch and fire it right into that hole right there. This is one of those little minis. It usually starts on the first light, so, and it didn't. Let's see if that's enough. Just enough. Now, I'm going to take this one all the way out too while I'm here. Got all that junk coming out of there. crunchy. A little crunchy. There we go. Nice and clean. Throw them in a little oil bath right there. This is just proving a point, just with these, with this Mojave. I do want to get sealed bearings for it though, so I'm not twisted in that thought. Definitely do want to get a nice sealed bearing into these things. Rubber sealed. Rubber sealed are just more serviceable. These things aren't. Once these are gone, they're gone. Unless you clean them and oil bath them like I am. Happier. Not perfect, but definitely happier. You should push through. Let's see, can I get it to push through without causing a problem? Should be able to. There we go. Just like that. Should be able to just roll this down. It's stopping it. There we go. Roll those down into place. Got 4 screws we got to put in. We got 2 long ones and 2 short ones. Believe that the long ones, looks like the long ones go this way. Yep. Short ones for the bottom. Now we can go ahead and install this into here. Center brace thing there. Drive shaft into place. That front pin should just drop into place somewhere. Right there. This piece here, which is one side, that might also be Jenny's RC piece. See? No, here it is. Found it. So now these two pieces obviously go on the left and right side of the chassis brace, which is right there. So you can see we've got larger one on that side, smaller one on that side. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working on that right there. Just like that. Then I had this long pin one. Bigger, little, it didn't make any sense. Smaller one on one side, bigger one on the other side. Take the pin. We use the pin to help align that piece, I hope. There we go. Now, I'm going to use a driver, hopefully just help drive it in. There we go. Now that keeps that together. Drive shaft is in place, now we'll flip the car over. Let's flip it over like this. Now, I do want to attach my suspension arms. Got my pins for the arms. One of them was a little bit deformed. It was this one. And I'm just going to stick with it. Like I said, I am point blank proving a point with this truck. You can beat this thing like pretty bad. And it just keeps coming back for more. So, let's get this in here. So obviously you've got a big end and a small end. Big end goes out to the outdrive cups, and the smaller end goes towards the inside. And these things are mint, no bends. Pins look mint. Don't look like they've shifted. So we'll install that into there. That into there. Definitely easier when the shocks aren't in. So here we go. Use the bent pin on this side. Come over to the other side, do basically the same thing. It's the shocks literally causing an issue. Here we go. This is the pin that was more free flowing. Put that into place. Line it up back there. And we'll get our new, because this one was this one ovalized? Or was it the other one? Yeah, this was the ovalized one. This was the back pin. The back pin's actually mint. So I can go ahead and slide that in. Just like that. And I give it a couple of little whacks with the hammer. Let's make sure things are settled in. Now I'm going to give those just a little tweak by hand here. That's mint. That's mint. Now I can go ahead and put on the rear bumper support brace thing. Good with that. Now this piece needs to go on as well. This is going to be facing that way. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. This still actually has diamond dust in there. Even that has diamond dust still on it. Wow. That still had diamond dust on there. So, sway bar said I'd be right back. Alright, just gotta take out these two top bolts right here, and this whole piece will come off. Now, just go ahead and take this piece, put the sway bar on. I think what I'll do, I think what I should do is attach it first. Maybe that will work better. Can I attach this first? In there, and then in there. Seems like that works. Yeah, that works. Keeps it into place. And go ahead and put this on. So that goes that way. The other one on with a driver. A little bit faster. Then do the sway bar end link.
I wasn't going to say anything, but hey, guy, you are forgetting something, aren't you?
So what I do is just make it so that the shaft is like literally at the edge. And I'll tighten it up. Same thing on the other side. Bring it through the spring. Just bring it in till it's right at the edge. And tighten it up. Good to go. Sway bar installed. Now I can go ahead and put this back on.
I knew it. You're doing it. You're forgetting 2 screws. Guy.
Awesome.
What are you doing? Don't you realize you're gonna have to take that whole thing apart again? That's 7 more screws you're gonna have to take apart again. So that's 14. Guy. Ah, my God, you're killing me here, guy. Just get it done.
These front ones. Just gotta tighten these ones up by hand.
Oh my God, guy. You are literally killing me. Here you are, talking down 5 screws. You're gonna have to take them all out. All I gotta do is laugh.
Now go after
No.
these 2 front bolts.
No, don't do it. Don't put those 2 screws in. You're gonna have to take those out too.
Oh no. Oh. Came out of gear. Never had that happen before.
Do you have any clue how much you are killing me here, guy? Where is your brain, guy? You've got to be kidding me.
Absolutely done.
And you think you're done?
Mojave is going to live another day except for the tires. But like I was saying, what I was doing...
Tires? What about those 2 screws?
This is the route that I'm going to go for this thing. I just need to make sure that that's actually going to work. Oh, never mind. I don't know where my brain is.
Yeah, I don't know either, guy.
So these front wheels would probably be better off in the rear. Fairly confident that these wheels are fine. I guess I will just have to buy a set of wheels. Got a little rock in there. It's a boulder from Diamond Dust. So I should put a little thread lock on there. They even fit loose. That's what's bad about that. They even fit loose.
I bet you're actually gonna squeeze too much out.
Whoa. I didn't mean to put that much on. Holy smokes.
Oh, I knew it, Guy. You are such a disaster. Welcome to RC Guy Disaster Garage.
Nice going, Guy.
Let's see if you actually learned. No way, Guy, you actually did it. I'm so proud of you. Alright, everybody, give him a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe.
This one's okay. Still got a little bit of diamond dust in there. We'll clean that out.
I bet you don't even realize that your wheel wrench fell on the ground, do you, Guy? Nope.
My mind is just gone.
You don't? What's that in your hand, Guy?
This one's better anyway. So this is the one that's stripped out. I'm not even going to waste my time with the front bearings, to be honest with you. I feel fine. What a check. They feel fine. This is the one that's obviously massively stripped out. So you can see that's bad. What I could do is I could possibly put like some type of a glue in there, epoxy or something. See how bad that is? It's like totally rounded out. Look at that. What can I do? Literally an epoxy or liquid nail might work. But I also don't have the time to want to waste. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I am back. I actually had to do some stuff off camera. The only reason why I had to do it off camera was because I was trying a couple of different things. At first, what I had done was I set the hex actually into the wheel. And I took some of this gel, popped out the hex, saw where its location was when I popped it in, popped it out, and I actually scraped some of this gel glue all along the edges of the actual wheel itself, okay? Then I quickly inserted the hex, the spare hex that I've got actually, which is now in this solution. I got the solution taking the super glue off, just so I can use it for another time if possible. Then what I did is I took my heat gun and effectively boiled the super glue while I was squeezing the actual inside of the rim. So if I could show you like a rim, I'll just show you on this hoon. So right inside on the hex, what I was doing is I was taking, after I basically boiled the hex, I squeezed the plastic so that as it cooled, it kind of stayed. And I gave it more of like a depression, so I squeezed it more towards the center around each one of those hex like areas, and you could feel the plastic starting to harden, and I think along with the gel helping. And then again, being on the front wheel, it's probably not going to be an issue just because it's on the front. I kind of want to say this thing is now like ready. You can see I don't have the original hex that came with the car on the front. I have no idea where it is. So what I did is I ended up using a Hobao Hex. They work, same exact thing, except they're not knurled, but it is thread locked anyway. And yeah, so let's fit the body on. Actually, you know what I should do? I probably should figure out throwing a Game Changer fan on here, shouldn't I? Yeah, I actually think I should. I think if I put a Game Changer fan right there. Check that out. I've actually got another hex that I probably could have tried. But these are my Game Changer green fans for my Mojave. I'd probably put one somewhere around here. Attach it right to the brace. Keeping that cool. And then I might take another one and actually attach it right here. Keeping the rest of everything else cool. The only thing is I got to wire up some ends. Run the wires through the brace. This way. So Game Changer now has the fans all wired up. So I could just basically go like that. I don't even need a grill on the top. If anything, stuff gets in there, the fan will chew it up. But anyways, I'll save that for a later project. But I do have some Game Changer fans. I do have some ideas. Literally place one fan right there to cool both the gears. If I actually attached them together, would that work? Yeah, not really. Yeah, anyways, I just want to charge up a battery and take this thing out for a rip. I'm not even going to wait for the glue to dry. I just kind of want to prove how much of a beast this is. I have no idea how this was connected. It's just there somehow. So, attach those wires back into that little loop there. And it is basically, like I said, it is time to take this thing out for a rip. This thing, I think, is ready.
Are you really sure about that guy?
Center diff feels mint.
What about the center and front differentials? What'd you do? Fix those off camera too?
Yeah. Perfect gear mesh.
I can see the gears spinning.
It's got the BLX system, totally stock. This thing is just an animal. All right, so...
I 100% know you're going to try and turn this into a speed monster, aren't you? I just know it. Guy, I know you. I'm your inner voice.
Basically, I guess you want to say that was possibly the long version.
You get a thumbs up from me, guy.
Just, it is what it is. I'll try and shorten it down. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this episode from RC Guy Garage. We worked on the Arrma Mojave, version 1, not 1.5. This is, it's already an EXB, in my mind. So anyways, like I always say, it's point blank, get out and rip it.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. That's right. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. That's right. For the record, lab on me going all the way. All the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. Stop. For the record, for the record,
For the record, the Mojave's back.